Yes, here we go. Dr. Ruth Anderson here with our last session of the Day of Transformation, except for we have a really big closer at the end. So you're not really done yet. But if you've made it this far, congratulations. It's been quite a day. We are here with Carol Ann Cross and Anayah Joi Holilly. Love these women. They are such an integral part to Enlightened World Network, and we could not be prouder than to have them here with us tonight. Their session is on dragon energy, and they introduced me just 2 weeks ago to my own dragon. So they are going to take us on a journey tonight. Anayah is the founder of Angel Heart Radio, and Carol Ann Cross is one of her hosts. Anayah's got a beautiful bunch of women representing her shows, and please check it out. You can go to Angel Light 777. And anyway, ladies, please take us on this journey. Would love to get started.
Okay, so hi everybody. I hope you've had a really interesting and exciting evening. We'll catch up on it today during the day because they're in Australia, it's only morning here. So we'll be lucky and we can watch all of the replays and catch up with everyone. And thank you, Ruth, so much for having us on today. And good morning, Anayah.
Good morning, darlings. Hello, everyone. As always, it's just fabulous to be here with you and to be in the company of such beautiful, beautiful women.
Yes, and so as Ruth was saying, we introduced her to her own dragon the other day, and we had an absolutely awesome time working with the dragons, because the dragons are here to support us all at this time, because everybody is just a little bit unsettled about COVID-19 and what's happening. And part of this is where Mother Earth needed to regenerate and to be reborn. And all of the elementals, and of course dragons are elementals, all of the elementals have always been here. They're ancient. They've been here since the beginning of Earth, since the beginning of time. But we're becoming more aware of them at this particular junction, because they're here to support us as we go through to the golden age, which is 2032. But also because we need to be so connected to Mother Earth at the moment, because Mother Earth she is just glowing with all of the clear air and the oceans that are not polluted and everything that's cleansing that's happening at this moment. And so Mother Earth needed a little bit of a rest, and that's what she's having at the moment. And that is the way I'm looking at COVID-19. But we're here to talk about the dragon energies. And when I met the dragons, it was the most exciting time for me, because I have my own personal little dragon, and we all have a dragon. And I'll let Anayah tell you about her dragon, because this just shows you the difference in all of the dragons. My dragon is an air dragon, and her name is Dusty, and she's blue, and she flies around with me all the time. And something I want you to remember before we start talking a little bit more about dragons, dragons can change their size as we work with them. So if the dragons are sitting beside you on your couch or just playing around in the yard, they can be small as can be or to any size. But when we want them to be big so we can fly with them as we're cleansing the earth and bringing regeneration to the Mother Earth, they grow. Over to you, Anayah.
Thank you. This is very true, and it's a fantastic point, and it's one that is so important to make, isn't it? Because it's like so many of us understand about working with angelic beings, for example, and we know that angels will appear in any shape, form, or size that we need them at that moment. It's the same with our dragons. And having this connection, having this understanding, even if you've just started, even if this is the very first time you've ever heard about dragon energy, You know, it's a wonderful place to begin because it's such a simple understanding, yet it's profound in its value. So when you're reaching out to your dragon with your heart, with the dragon energy, the elemental energy, the celestial energy as well, because it's all totally one, connected. We don't have little bits of pockets here and there like we do here on planet Earth, right? As you're reaching out with your heart and your love and your invitation, just try and be open to how your dragon appears. And as Caroline so beautifully introduced, when my dragon, when I first met her, really connected with her and asked her name, and here's a point I'd like to make. It doesn't matter if you don't get a name.
No.
It doesn't mean your dragon's not there, and it doesn't mean your dragon's not listening to you. Sometimes our filter is set to, I have to know. If I don't have a name, I won't know what to call. You know, that kind of connection, Caroline and Ruth?
Yeah.
It's really important to let that go. But when I asked her name and she popped in with her name, I was really surprised. And then a very clear picture of her. Her name is Estelle. And she's air and water. And she's kind of very flamboyant in her own way, you know, so she's really works for me. And she's got a handbag and these big old-fashioned button earrings. And she was laughing and playing and inviting me to remember that part of my nature and how important it is, because I've gotten so serious. Just let some of that go and just have a bit of a play.
Yeah, and that's important because it's working out our relationship with our dragon and what they're here for us to learn and to grow with them, because they're just a part of the beautiful world of the elementals. It's like we all know about fairies, but how many of you have actually sat out in your garden and allowed yourself to be aware of the energy of not only the fairies, but all of the sprites and all of the beautiful energy that's out there? And my garden is full of bromeliads, or as you call them, bromeliads, I think. And I can remember years and years ago that I was told that the fairies love bromeliads because where that circular part is in their centre, the fairies curl up and go to sleep in those at night. And to me, that was such a beautiful, beautiful story. So that's about the fairies. And I just want to touch on one more thing just before I move on, which is completely different. I just want to mention salamanders, because salamanders also breathe fire, just like the dragons can do when we're wanting them to go and burn off negative energy and things like that. And I had a friend who lived, her house overlooked a lake. And whenever I was there, this absolutely enormous salamander would lie at the back of the deck. So we had to almost look over the salamander to look down into the lake. And one day I said to him, "You can't be a salamander. This is a lake. You must be a water dragon." He said, "No, I'm not." He said, "I'm a salamander." And it was just so funny. And whenever I was there, he was always on her patio. Day and night, he was there. And her house, because of the lake and the water, and I love the water, I always could feel the energy of the water sprites and all of the elementals of the guardians of the water. But that was where I saw my first unicorn. And really I have to be honest and say, that's the only time I've really seen a unicorn. I've been aware of the unicorns. But the unicorns are here for us for healing, help us with healing. And my girlfriend the day I saw the unicorn, I'd gone down specifically to help her with some healing. She was not very well at all. And we would been just doing some work and doing some Reiki and some various other kinds of healing work. And I turned around and I said to her, "Oh, can you see the unicorn?" "What unicorn?" I said, "The unicorn is over there against the wall." And I got so excited to see this unicorn. So all of these nature elements, they're working with Mother Earth. And that's why they've always been there. But at this time, when Mother Earth is needing to regenerate and to be reborn, but also we all need to be more connected to Mother Earth. And that's why we're more aware of them at this time. And I'm just so excited to be working with Anayah and to be bringing these energies to everybody's attention, because they've always been there. You just haven't always been aware of them. So it's about letting yourself just relax and think about them. And you'll be amazed at what can happen just by doing that. You know, we can do some meditations and things, but just by thinking about the fairies, going out into your garden and doing all of these things, it just brings you back into contact with them all. Anayah, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Carol-Ann. One of the big things that is being communicated to me at the moment, and it's a question that's been asked a lot of me over the years because of my work with the angels. People will say, can you get a message to my angel? Can you tell me about my guardian angel? Can you connect me? You have a beautiful connection. I don't have it. Can you do it for me? Okay, so I just want to bust that myth right now. There is absolutely nothing any more special about me than anybody else, nor is there anything more special, even though my human mind will tell me, as you well know, Carol-Ann, it's true. But this is the remembrance that we're coming back to. Our frequency has changed so much. Our structure is changing so much. We can hold a lot more energy than we've ever been able to before. And when I say hold, I don't mean take and hold to us. I mean, we can open ourselves and allow that energy to come into us and trust it so much more. Because we've learned, haven't we, that when we feel in our heart the joy, the peace and the love of this energy radiating around us and within us and to us, even though our minds will say, you are making that up, or some people have said to me, what if it's a fallen angel and, you know, I'm being tricked? A, I don't believe in fallen angels, and B, you can't make love feel like something else.
No.
That is a frequency all of its own. Nothing can take it and alter it. That's frequency. That frequency is a projection from God, from Creator. Oh, I'm getting so many goosebumps. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. This and I'm also sounding quite emotional. This frequency, this unconditional love, is our birthright to experience.
Yeah.
So no matter how many times your mind tells you that you're making it up, that you can't trust it, don't worry about it. Keep coming back to it. It will never forsake you. You have it already. You are already amazing. The thing is, you just don't know it. And that's part of the human conditioning and the human journey. And the reason we have it is so we can step away from it to the truth, the divine truth of our magnificence. And it doesn't matter if you are in the worst possible hell you can imagine. Well, it does matter. You know what I mean. That's not the thing is, you have within you your own Garden of Eden. You are your Garden of Eden. You're the Garden of Eden for the planet. Now, listen, I don't normally think about the Garden of Eden because I'm not a religious person. However, I can see very clearly as we sit here together that we're talking about this incredible natural world, the elemental world, the celestial world. How sometimes it just blows my mind how loved we truly are and how blessed we truly are. And it's our choice now whether we're going to be a part of that blessing and express it. And we never miss our chance is the other thing, do we?
No, that's exactly right. And I was just thinking as you know, you were talking then, it made me think about when we were children and we were growing up and, you know, we'd read fairy tales and stories and all of those kinds of things. These are the things that are coming back to us now. And I want you all to think about the fact that you may not see them with your eyes or your mind's eye, but they're an energy, they're a frequency. And so you might be aware of a little brush of a breeze beside you, or you might suddenly think, oh, what was that? So these are all energies that we're picking up from the elementals and from spirit. Our guides and our angels do exactly the same thing. So I don't want you to think that just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not real, because it is real. And when we allow ourselves to relax and to just come into that moment, let go of expectations. Don't think that your dragon is going to be this fierce looking thing that's breathing fire and its eyes are glowing and all of this. It's not. It's just really beautiful. And yes, they do breathe fire, but that's when it's needed. They don't do that all the time. And the important thing for you to remember about your dragon, when you do get to meet your dragon, they have a huge heart. And as you first meet your dragon, the dragon's heart is wide open and beating, and it's beating in a rhythm that you can feel and understand. And when you've met your dragon, you realize, I've known that energy all along, but I didn't actually know what it was. So the dragons, children recognize these things really quickly because they have no expectations. But as adults, we sometimes put an expectation on it. So I want you to realize that when you meet your dragon, they are so full of love for you, and they're there as your guardian. And everything they do is for your highest good. And so that to me is really exciting. So don't put an expectation on it. Don't worry if you can't see it, because it is there. Just allow yourself to relax and go into the moment. And you'll be surprised at what you see and what you feel. And you know, it's something that is not at all scary. It's just beautiful. So just allow it to happen and you'll be amazed.
Mm.
So Anayah, did you want to sort of help to come towards I'm not sure how we're going for time, so.
We've still got, where are we, Ruth? We've still got 15 minutes. Yep. Okay, great. So, excuse me. When we get to the, toward the end, Carol Ann and I were talking about it this morning, and what we'd like to do is to, and we will do this right before we finish, we would like to show you how simple it is, how easy it is, and how fast it is to connect to Mother Earth, to connect to the universal energies of love. And part of that energy is to help us ground ourselves, right? Bring our energy into a place of calm, into a place where we are tranquil. Now, if you're like me and you've got a Gemini rising or lots of Gemini in your chart, or something like a lot of air in your chart, your mind will tell you this is never going to happen, right? Because you've got too many things to do and there are so many projects and, oh, I could do this, I could do that. The thing is, we have an opportunity to have a balance. And we're always speaking about balance, aren't we, Carol Ann?
Yep.
How that is the cornerstone of absolutely everything we will ever do. Because if you imagine the scales, you know, if you're like this or like this, or even a little bit like this, there's not, the flow's not happening. And it's about having that balance, which is not necessarily an easy state for some people like me, because I want to do everything. I want to do it perfectly, and I want to do it now. I can see Ruth going, I know what you're talking about. So it's what I'm saying to you is that's not a roadblock for you. It might feel or seem like a roadblock, but there is always choice. We have divine free will. We can choose. One of the things we can choose to do is connect in a heartfelt way. Now, how it feels to my heart might be different to how it feels to your heart. And that's perfectly perfect. You know, Deb Goldberg did this fantastic show on Angel Heart Radio. Gosh, it must be a couple of years ago now. Something about a beautiful mess. We're all a beautiful mess because we feel like we're a mess in human form, but we're not. We're journeying out of that misconception, aren't we, girls?
Yeah.
Coming into the realization, the understanding, and the acceptance of the perfection of who we are. Because we use our physical eyes. We'll look in the mirror and say, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I don't like something else. I need to change it and then I'll be good. I need to have a better job or more money or a car or home or whatever it is. So when you're working with your dragon energy and you feel these ways about yourself, you can ask your dragon to take you high above, you elevate your perspective of those thoughts and feelings and show you from a perspective of love and acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's powerful and beautiful, and a person can do this if we choose to. And if we are willing to go on this journey, Carol-Ann.
Yeah, that's right. And something they just, my guys and my dragon actually just reminded me to say to everyone that when the dragons do burn off the negativity and the dross that's happening, and that's part of what they're doing now, and clearing the waterways and all of those, that allows for the regeneration. They never do anything that is going to damage or destroy unless it is needed for regeneration. And regeneration is part of what we're going through at the moment. And as Anayah was saying, the balance that we have at this time is to be able to see the picture, as well as having balance in our life between our human and our spiritual life, which to me is very important. But it's to be able to see the picture from, as Anayah said, the higher perspective of why things are happening nowadays. Because when we can stop and pause and take a breath and think about, why is this happening? And then we can see a different perspective that brings this balance back into our lives. But we need to remember that everything has an energy. I was reminded the other day, a friend of mine was saying that she had been going for a walk. She was recovering from chemotherapy, and she'd gone for a walk, and she turned a corner on her walk that she does all the time, the same pathway. And she said there was a rock, a stone, but it had the face of the stone people on it. And she said she knew that that was a message for her, that she was stronger than she thought she was. And to me, those things are really excited, because all of those things have an energy. And one day we'll talk to you about the fact you can actually talk to all of these things and find out about what they are and why they're there. Just very quickly, the first time I did this, I was at a workshop and I walked into the venue, and at the doorway were these very, very old urns which had plastic flowers in that had seen better days. And so when we were asked to do this practice, I thought, this is a bit ridiculous, really. So I thought, I'm going to ask this pot, this ceramic pot, all right, tell me about yourself. Well, I have to tell you, I was blown away. This pot said to me, I am the guardian. Every person who walks through this door has to go past me. I am aware and I know every person who walks through this door. And it, went on a little bit more than that, but I think to say that it blew my socks off that day. So, that's something that is really exciting to try. A chair, a vase, a light, a table. Talk to it. Just put your hand on it and ask it to talk to you. You will be amazed. That sounds like your call, Anayah.
Now, you just reminded me, I was at a friend's place years ago, and she had a same kind of thing, Carol-Ann. It was a vase with some with some artificial flowers in it. And I could see fairies dancing all through these flowers. And I said to her, can you see all those fairies? She said, Anayah, it's a fake planet. I said, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Because what they're doing is they're reminding me of the value and beauty and importance of nature.
Yeah.
So having that, and I remember a friend saying, is Sam's barking bothering anyone?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's fine.
It's part of nature. It's just, you know.
Yeah, that's right. He's having his point of view as well.
And you know what I always find, and it was shared with me quite a long time ago now, that whenever I hear a sound from nature, particularly an unexpected sound from nature at an inopportune time, it's a message to pay close attention.
Yeah.
All right. So where was I going with this, God? Oh, yeah. So one of the things I can remember distinctly as a child, just checking the time, the connection I always had with nature, and I could always see fairies and elementals. And of course, it was always out of my peripheral vision. As a child, I never questioned that. As I got older, I began to be told, of course, that's your imagination. It's time to grow up now. It's never time to let go.
No,
of
we never grow up.
Ourselves. No, and trust what you see. Often it will be that fleeting glimpse, but except for the day I saw that tree being, which I've shared before. That was extraordinary. This being just reached out of the tree and turned around with its eyes closed and looked at me, and then opened its eyes and looks at me, and then turned around and went back into the tree and just became dark again. And it was so beautiful and profound, because I'd come far enough on my journey to realize I hadn't made that up.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for that tree being reminding me, you know, when they say hug a tree, that's why you hug a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a being, and often many beings within that tree, that rock, that plant. And as you said, even that table and chair, because everything is vibration, is frequency, is energy. And that can be a lot to get your head around, I know, especially if we're looking at something like plastic or something like that. But it comes from oil.
Yeah.
Right? Plastic comes from oil. So if you're ending your day now, this will be lovely just to show you how quick and easy it is to just connect with the energies of Mother Earth, to ground you and prepare you for sleep. If you're beginning your day like we are, it'll be wonderful to support you as you go into your day. So this will take a minute or two, and that's it. Remember that? It doesn't have to be a big journey. So if you can, if you're driving or doing something important, of course, don't do this. But just close your eyes if you can and take a breath, and just allow that breath to journey into your body, into your being. Breathe it in and just know that that is full of love and energy and light. And as it enters your body, it settles into your lungs, travels through your blood and touches every part of your physical body, as well as your mental body, and also your emotional body. And imagine or sense a beautiful ray of golden light suddenly breaking through the ceiling, breaking through the clouds, just coming down and entering your physical body. And it's full of light and love and movement. Down it goes, down, 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 through your shoulders and into your torso and down into your hips. Going down through your legs, and your calves, into your feet. Each and every toe can feel it. And out it comes through your feet. Down through the floor, no matter whether you're in an apartment building, a skyscraper, a cabin, doesn't matter. Down into Mother Earth. Down, down, down this light travels. It's so loving. It carries with it everything you want to release. and into the heart, the waiting arms of Mother Earth. Feel that love. Feel that connection. And let it all go. Mother Earth then rejuvenates that energy, transmutes it, and brings it back up to you. Up through Mother Earth, up into your body, kissing every single cell, loving every single part of you, all your organs, every cell, up through your body, through your heart. Your kidneys are also being beautifully regenerated. And up it comes, up, and it meets that gorgeous light that came in and surrounds you and loves you. Take a breath. Feel your body, wiggle your toes. If you're going to sleep, you might want to stay there. Move your body, open your eyes, hold your heart and give thanks for the love that you are and the love that's all around within you every single moment. Thank you. It's as easy as that. Anyone can do it.
It felt awfully good to stay there. I could have just stayed there.
I know, me too, right?
What was fun for me was while you were doing that, number one, my dragon showed up.
Excellent.
When you introduced me to him, I guess it was 2 weeks ago now, he told me his name was Arthur. Mm-hmm. And I have not said that out loud to anyone. My daughter brought a fish home the other day and named him Arthur.
Oh, I'm guessing your dragon's got a fair bit of water energy.
But we've never said, I mean, the name Arthur doesn't exist in our family, right? So where that came from, I thought that was so amusing.
That's great.
During your meditation right there, Arthur came in, and then there was this swirl around me of energy, and it was all rainbow colors, but it wasn't just typical rainbow colors. It was like light and airy and pastels and almost glittery. And I thought, what do you ladies bring in with you? Because that's not typical of the kind of energy that I get around me. So thank you. That was delightful.
You're welcome. And you know, we didn't actually bring it in. It's already there. It's just, and that's the great thing, isn't it? It's great for us, though. It's a real privilege to be able to be kind of like an instigator, I guess, in some ways. It's like a little mirror, isn't it? Say, hey, look at you. Look how beautiful you are, Ruth. And this is our journey, isn't it, everyone? We're constantly waking up to how beautiful we are and how false our perception, our human perception of beauty truly is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, we are. We are just magnificent, and you know, it's just allowing ourselves. We're going to have human moments, but that's because, you know, we're in a human body for this life experience. So, but our souls and ourselves are just absolutely beautiful and magnificent. So just remember that in those moments.
Trust it. Trust it as much as you can.
Exactly. One of the things that I love about you two, and then we'll say good night for now, is that we show each other things.
Yes.
And I have shown y'all a little something, you have shown me a little something, and then I show you a big something, and then you show me a big something. And I just love that about you all and about the relationship that we have. And really with Enlightened World Network, that's what we do. That's what we do for each other. So thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for being the last individual session, closing ceremony. So with that, how do folks contact you, Carol, if people want to learn more about you?
Okay, my website is carolsangelwings.com, and there's a contact page on there. And my Facebook is Carol Ann Cross, Ann with an E.
Excellent.
And of course, you can get me through angellight777.com.
Yes.
Angel
The
Heart
links are
Radio.
there. Yep.
And Anayah, what about you?
Thank you. Angellight777.com. It is so easy. And when we think of the angels and the light, and 777 has always been like such a powerful number for me. So it's angellight777.com. Look, all the hosts on Angel Heart Radio, the links are all there. So you can easily connect with all of us. And one of the things I love about Angel Light 777 is there's a lot of resources there for you, including guided messages from the angels. There's some, heaps of beautiful meditations, and we have lots of ways of experiencing and expressing the gifts we love to give, don't we?
We do.
Yes, that's great. Thank you. Well, ladies, I can't wait for our next journey together. So to all of our friends, we say good night. Thank you. And we'll see you in a few minutes at our closing celebration of light.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.